you're saying I was attacking, I just can't believe you would accuse me of attacking Florida. That's crazy. All I was doing was making the point that Florida was going the route of the Nick Saban starter kit with Napier. Here's a guy who once coached at Alabama, so they're going to hire him. And they're going to say, hey, do what Saban does. Okay, again, this isn't Kirby Smart. This is a guy who wasn't there 9 years, wasn't a coordinator. How many rings does he got? I think this is a reach for Florida, and all I was saying was I'm not convinced yet. Now, could it work? Maybe. The Gators are going to get some NIL money in that hopper. They got some deep pockets in that fan base, Paul. You've seen them Gator fans. They come rolling up. Them cars are nice. They're flying first class on those airplanes. They're going to put some money in the hopper there at Florida. I'm just not sure, and this was all I was saying, that we're going to see that same magic and dominance that we just knew Florida was going to be great with Steve Spurrier. Yeah, Urban Meyer won a couple titles. I know that, but it wasn't a given, and it certainly wasn't the same feel-good story that Steve Spurrier produced there, and I just don't know if Florida's ever going to get back to that.
Well, again, I don't know they will or they won't. I know, and this is maybe the interesting part, Mike, the fan base has just locked in to Billy Napier. Now, are they locked in because they really believe, or are they locked in because they're so desperate not to have another coach fail? I don't know the answer to that.
I think you do know the answer to that, and that's why we're having this conversation. They're so desperate that they had to go out and try to find the next Nick Saban, which is the mistake. How many other Nick Saban clones have we seen? Now, some have succeeded. All right, Kirby Smart, obviously, Jimbo Fisher, one of the early, Saban got, also coached under Bobby Bowden, worth mentioning. But how many other programs have gone out there and tried to get a piece of that Nick Saban cloth or replant the Nick Saban tree in their backyard? It doesn't necessarily grow the same. There's only one of them. You can't clone the guy. Everybody's trying to clone. You can't. I understand why they're trying to do it, but you know what? How about you try to clone Steve Spurrier? If you're Napier, how about you show up at his banquet? Show a little respect. Steve Spurrier was still winning games. You don't care what league you put him in.
Hold on, Mike. We're now we're now breaking the Da Vinci Code here. So your angst toward Napier is because he didn't go to some silly banquet at Steve Spurrier's restaurant. Is that what this is really all about? It sounds like this is what this is all about.
That is not what it's all about. My point is, kiss the ring if you're Billy Napier. Steve Spurrier's in your backyard. You want to talk about coaching genius.
But Mike, let's be honest. I mean, Spurrier's not exactly relevant anymore in most people's mind. He owns a restaurant, good for him. He has an award, good for him. But young recruits are not overly concerned about Steve Spurrier's legacy at the University of Florida.
Listen, he's only 5 or 6 years older than Saban. It ain't like he's.
Mike, I know exactly how old he is. I'm talking about relevancy. I mean, that's what you just got through giving me and the audience a lecture on what's important today. It's NIL and it's the NFL, and then you're dropping Steve Spurrier like he really matters to a 17-year-old. He doesn't matter to anybody.
Well, since when does Louisiana football matter? How many kids even knew who Billy Napier was before he was hired by? You want to talk about irrelevant? How about coming from Lafayette, Louisiana? What is that? That's not exactly getting, Notre Dame. I mean, you want to talk about relevant. He's relevant because he's the Florida coach. Florida, the brand, is what's relevant. This guy has to prove he's worth it. That's all I'm saying. He hasn't done it on the big stage yet. How many other coaches won Louisiana? Plenty. People win there. They got advantages. Good school. Great recruiting base. Do it in the SEC. I'm not ready. All I'm saying is I'm not ready to give this guy the benefit of the doubt yet. I want to see it. He did good in recruiting. He's hiring an army of people. Florida's going all in, like you said. I mean, they are all in. I give those Gators, Scott Strickland, credit. They're not putting their half foot into it. They're all in, and that gives them a chance, all right, because a lot of schools don't do that. We won't get into that conversation. I give the Gators – all I'm saying is, what's this guy really done on the grand stage? And on the grand stage, he ain't been on the grand stage. That's why I got my doubts. And I would say if you've got a resource like Steve Spurrier, I don't think you could pick that guy's brain enough. I know you're saying he's not – I'm not saying take him out and use him in recruiting or even have him call plays. I'm just saying you got one of the greatest coaches in history. He would be on the Mount Rushmore of SEC coaches, and you've got him at your disposal. I'd be all over that.
Well, now, Mike, I'm not arguing that point. I'm well aware, as everyone in the audience is, of what Steve Spurrier did, but I'm also not sure how he's going to be a big factor anymore. Anyway, we'll leave it here. It's always great to have you on, Mike. We never a dull moment when Griff shows up.
I'm just trying to help these Gators out. I told you it's good for the SEC when Florida's winning in football. And Scott Strickland's a great AD. I think this guy is. I think I'm all in on Strickland. I just want to be clear on that.
I mean, you're all in on Strickland. He's the guy that brought. He's had a few bad hires. Come on, let's not get carried away here.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.